Okay, everybody, what we're talking about today is taking some information here that we're given, and we're going to be given 2 points basically. All right, it's either a table, which will show you the 2 points, or there's just going to be a list of 2 points. And when you're given the list of 2 points or the table, realize that you have an x-coordinate and a y-coordinate. The x-coordinate is the first coordinate, remember, and the y-coordinate is the second coordinate. And what we're asked to do is we're asked to write it into point-slope formula. Okay, so there's a form that's called point-slope form, and that's going to be the generic form of that is going to be y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay. All right, so here's what you got. This is it right here. All right, and that's our formula where x1 and y1, those are the coordinates of the points, right? And the instructions say it says using the given information, find the slope and write the equation in point slope form. Okay, so I'm going to do 1 and 2 for you so that you understand how to do these, and then let you guys tackle 3 through 8 on these. All right, so reminder, slope is m equals the change in the y values over the change in the x values. Point slope formula is, like I was saying, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. All right, where x1 comma y1, that's going to be those are the coordinates of that first point. All right, so this is what you're looking at here is the generic formula for it. And if we look at y1, x1, and m, these right here are numbers that we have to find. We have to either find them or they're given to us. Okay, so once we have those numbers, we can just go ahead and plug them in and replace the y1 with the number that it is, and replace the x1 with the number that it is, and replace the slope m with the number that it is. Okay, so m equals your change in your y values. All right, so I'm going to write down m, and the change in the y values, the first I'm going to start with this second point right here, and the y value of the second point is 9. So I'm going to say 9, and remember, it's always y on top. Okay, the change in the y goes on top and x goes on bottom. So it's going to be 9 minus 3 on top. Okay, and then on bottom, it's going to be the change in the x values. So the x values right here is, if I started with the point 4 comma 9, for the x values I have to start with that point as well. So I'm going to say 4 minus 1. Right, so now I can go ahead and subtract 3 from 9 and get 6, and subtract 1 from 4 and get 3. And then I come up with m equals 6 divided by 3, which is 2. All right. Now from here, the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm just going to pick a point, and just for the sake of the ease of use here, I guess we'll just say that pick that first point. All right, just pick the first point, and that's fine. So if I pick the first point, the coordinates of that first point are 1 comma 3. All right, so I'm going to write it down. I'm going to write down the generic form. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay? So I know this right here, my x1 right here is that first x, the first point right here is 1 comma 3, and the x value, the x coordinate of that is 1. So that's going to go right here. All right. My y value is 3. So that's going to go right here. Okay. And my slope, which is 2, it's going to go right there. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and erase these. All right. So I'm going to erase the y1. Can erase x1, erase y1, and I'm just going to erase m, and I'm just going to replace those with the numbers that I found them to be. Right, so 3 right here goes, I just write 3 here, 1 goes here, and 2 goes here. Okay? And that's it. As simple as that. Okay, so that's my answer right there. Now, I could also do it with the other point. I could plug in, you know, for 4, I could put 4 right over here. Okay, I could put 4 right behind the x, 4 in for x, and 9 in for y right down here. But I just chose the first point. Just choose the first point and that make it easy. Okay. Okay, problem number 2. So it looks a little different. It looks a little bit, in my opinion, more organized, but it's listed in a table. All right, so the table has an x value, comma, a y value. So the first point is this one right here, 2, comma, 3. It would be the same thing as just listing it out, but it's listed as a table, which I think makes it a little bit easier to work with. So remember back to the instructions, it says find the slope first. So I'm going to say m is going to be the change in the y values. Okay, so going from 3 to 5, I added 2. Okay, going from now the change in the x values, going from 2 to 6, I added 4. Okay, so just always remember, it's the change in the y values goes on top. The change in the y values is 2. And on the bottom it's going to be the change in the x values. The x values is 4. Okay? So I always reduce. I don't leave it. I never want to leave something not in its simplest form. So the simplest form of 2 over 4 is 1 over 2. You could also write it as 0.5 if you'd like to. If you make it a decimal, that's fine. So now I have my m. Okay? So I'm going to write down, I'm going to go back up here or go back down here, and I'm going to write down y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay? So the point that I choose, the first point there, my y value is 3. So I'm going to take my y value and I'm going to place it right here. I'm going to take my x value, which is 2, and I'm going to place it right here. Okay? And I'm going to take my 1/2, which is my m value, and I'm going to replace that m with 2 right there. So I go back, erase these right here. drawing. And so the 3 goes here. The 2 goes here. And the 1/2 goes right here. Right? And that's my answer. That's it right there. Okay? So that's how you do it. Looking at it from 2 different perspectives, looking at it as a list of as a list of ordered pairs and also as a table. Okay? So if you need to go back in, you know, if you forgot something, go back in and rewind the video and then check it out from there. But that's how you do it.